Well, hello there. There we go. Hello. Thank you for joining me for episode 3 of Post-Apocalypse Worlds. GM Crypto Brain Army. It doesn't feel like it's episode 3. It feels like it should be episode, well, I guess 4. I wouldn't say as much as 5. It feels early. It feels like too much has happened since, in terms of numbers. It feels too much has happened for it just to be the 3rd episode of GM Crypto. It's kind of weird. I'd actually, legitimately checked my videos and past records to double check that it was, in fact, episode 3. Yeah, it was. So, I'm just going to jump straight into it. I have been very busy for the last 2 weeks. As you may have noticed, we skipped 1 week. People were busy. Super Bowl, that whole thing. And basically, I've been super busy and haven't really been dwelling on apocalyptic fiction in my head. So, I spent the last, this is a later broadcast than usual, I spent the last bit getting into the mind space, like what's been going on in the game, because I kind of forgot parts of it over the course of time. You know how that goes. So, let's hope this goes well. It will probably be a bit longer than last time. Maybe. I don't think nothing can be as long as episode 1 was of Post-Apocalypse, which is, I think, 3 hours, which is insane. Of course, I've never done this type of GM prep before for Apocalypse World. Done heroic plenty of times, but yeah. Anyways, let's just jump right into it. There we go. Super Bowl 20. So we ended last time. Basically, a lot of last session was focused on Kim. Kim and Bean were a lot of last session. Of course, Bean's an NPC, but basically, Kim's secret is slowly coming out, or at least people are looking into it more. And Whisk has decided that she is going to deal with Bean in the most direct, indirect way possible by getting him in trouble with someone else without her getting involved directly at all. Let's see what else would happen. Rex tried to ambush her in her dorm, and she just stabbed him in the throat, and he almost died if it wasn't for Kim. Let's see. Grigsby gave some barter to Radar to deliver to who was it? Phoebe. Yeah, he raised funds for Phoebe the previous session. Gave it to Radar. This still feels like the most. I don't know. No, I think that's right. It still feels like I'm missing a session somewhere. Oh well. I'll rename the video if it is. Oh well. So, last session there was a party at Boz where Bean got drunk. Heard that. Got drunk, knew that Kim was basically second-hand responsible for the death of, his best friend. And then Grigsby convinced Frost, who is new NPC, a beautiful woman, very greedy, and because she's beautiful and greedy, she decides easy money, the prostitution. That was stated. That is a thing. Her name was Frost. Yep. So Grigsby convinced, paid a deal to. I can't actually remember what the deal was struck with. I'll actually write that down because I'll need to remember. I'll ask Zen, Grigsby's player, what it was. It was something about his radio service. I think it was like a talk show or something. Yeah. What was offered to Frost? Oh, that could be a thing. I don't think so. I don't think Frost is going to be a full-on threat at this point. Okay, Frost convinced Bean to go get revenge on Kim, because of course he sort of blamed Kim for his friend's death. Volin. Vonk. Vonk was his name. So she did that. And I believe somewhere along the lines, a 7 to 9 was rolled. And so Bean didn't go alone. Bean went and brought his entire gang with him. So that's fun. I'm going to set up that gang. So I have a feeling it's going to be used at some point. Now, when we ended the session, it was Kim running out of the back door of the wood stove, and Bean and his entire gang following him. Kind of the beginning of the latest Mad Max movie, Fury Road, when Max is trying to escape from the War Boys, and they're all just sort of scrambling after him one by one. It's kind of like that. Just sort of crazy. We won't know yet until the beginning of the next session if Kim will, what's going to happen to Kim. Let's just jump right into it. As you can see, I'm on the first threat here. So the immigrants to the rig, that is still happening in the background. The clock has been ticking closer from 3 to 6. Now, inspired by what Adam did with his most recent Roll20, the Sprawl prep, these are now tokens, the clocks. So you can see the real clocks are underneath, like the ones that come as the base of this whole threat picture. But this is a clock, and just like it has a random table here, threat clock table. I popped our chat. There we go. And I can choose a side. So I can just tick up the clock as much as I want to, and it's easier than having to like manually write an X or copy and paste it without messing anything up. I can just say, and the clock is now 6. It's not 6 yet. It's. I expect it to likely be 6 next session to tick over next session, but it has, again, this is sort of very long term. I don't want it to last the entire session or to last the entire campaign, but it's slowly going to tick up, and I think once. Yeah, things are going to get faster and faster over time. Yeah. So I don't think that there's anything we should change. There's the cast members. Mimi's still an important cast member because she grows the food now as well as broadcasting across the land. And that's important. We haven't seen much about like how she does it. She claimed to not be good at it. I think she was lying. That's what I think right now. That isn't confirmed in the game, so she might not have been lying. But I think she basically was lying about not being able to do it. However, Haas is currently in constant dialogue with her. Not constant dialogue, but pretty consistent dialogue. So, like telling her what to do. I can only see that going one way in a Propolis world. Badly. So that'll be a threat that will make. What else is happening? Well, let's go through these. Camo, Fleece, and Lips are all fine. How will the crowds affect Mimi? Right now, we haven't seen them yet affect her because she has been she's now spending all of her time in lower levels where people either can't or won't go. She's kind of isolated from people. I kind of like. I don't know if that's the thing. Yeah, I think as people get here and as people will want to like seek out and talk to Mimi. Let's see. How will the crowd, like, they're gonna kind of start demanding her time, and she doesn't have time to give. So, I like this idea a lot, actually, because it makes a lot of sense with the food running out. It's not only just because if there are too many people, but it's because there are too many people, and a lot of them, some of them start interfering with Mimi. Basically, that'll change, of course, if when Fleece knows that's happening, she's going to set up some sort of guard or something. If she knows, probably not. Anyways, So, how will the crowds affect me? I will change that. How will the crowds affect Mimi's work? Because that's the important part. If she doesn't work, people don't eat. What's going to happen to Litz? In terms of this, I don't think that's important anymore in context specifically of this threat. I think Litz has her own threat, and I don't think it's important in that part. She's getting free groceries and stuff like that. How will Felice bargain with Whisk? Well, who's Felice? Felice is the Flockmaster. I thought Felice was someone else. Never mind. Felice, I think that's not how she would bargain with Whisk. I don't think that's an interesting question. And also, stop changing. Was it 12? 14. I don't think how. I think it was will Felice bargain with Whisk. Why does it keep changing font size? There we go. Roll 20. You have some serious glitches. Anyways, we don't know if Felice is going to even bargain with Whisk. It might be a demand. How is Kim going to get the Angel Kit supply when the gates close? I'm literally like, I'm gonna ask Kim that flat out. Who will suffer the first violence? In context specifically of this, violence has not yet been done. And what will happen to the sheep? These are not metaphorical sheep. These are the literal sheep, cow-sized fluffy things that eat, that graze on the fish fields. I think that's still a good question, because they could go all sorts of things. They could turn violent and mutate. They could just get eaten. They could run away. The raiders could take them. All sorts of things could happen. So I think these are all good still. Next threat, Grigsby's security. At this time, Grigsby's security isn't a threat. In terms of, well, in terms of much right now, they haven't even been seen by name yet. So I think I might change that. As in, I think I might introduce some sort of complication to this. These are people loyal to Grigsby because he's helped them get back on their feet. And they are brutes. They are family type of brutes, and so their impulse is to close ranks and protect their own. If I was to introduce a clock, the vision for the future that I would see for these brutes is that they become disillusioned with Grigsby and abandon him. Yeah. So let's play out how that could happen. Let's start from the end and work way backwards. So everyone leaves Grigsby. That is the vision of the future that could happen. Next, what would you read just before that? Only the last loyal. Let's see. Only the last loyal. It's a little medium gang of. I think it's either medium. This medium, not small. Only the last loyal few. I think it might even be few. Very good. And then something happened. I think that Grigsby's security starts even Like, they'd be taking other jobs, working other gigs. Just, yeah, they would just stop. They'd start moving on from Grigsby. Now, what would happen to make... I think that something happened that would shake their faith in him in a fundamental way, where they would all, like, in a huge way. I think that see, I'm feeling that someone is going, or somehow there's going to be some sort of evidence that Grigsby is a hypocrite. I think there's going to be some sort of evidence that Grigsby is far more greedy than he says he is. And I see the source, or perhaps just the start of this, coming from Radar, the wolf. Radar is not going to give the barter to Fifi like she said she would, like Grigsby asked her to. She's gonna visit Fifi like she was planning to. She's gonna comfort them. And I think that she is going to do two things. I think she's going to try and recruit them into her pack as she grows it. And she's going to also tell them that she asked Grigsby for the barter. And Grigsby just said no. She would probably make up a lie saying that he made up a lie about him not having any. And she would claim that he was lying about that. And they would be pissed at him. That would not be a 6 o'clock type of deal. Or, yeah, that's a 3 o'clock type of deal. So let's see. Fifi and Radar. Hold on. Word gets around that Fifi... I don't like word getting around about that, necessarily, because as soon as that happens, Grigsby would know what's up. Grigsby would know Radar, like, mess with him. Also, it's Fifi and Sibel. Fifi and Sibel get pissed at Grigsby. I'm back, but I hate my computer. It is the worst. So, I may have disconnected while saying this, but my motherboard stopped responding, which it does when I'm using internet a lot like streaming. It's never been so bad as to do it in the middle of a regular stream. Usually it's when I'm also playing a video game, like XCOM or something like that. I give up. No, I'm just going to have to replace it. It's really dumb. So, back to it. Fifi and Sibel get pissed at Grigsby. It's obvious why. I need to put it in here. I think they're just the first two. But I think, yeah, it's going to be sort of this rumor going around that Grigsby is much more greedy than he lets on. I think that's a good 6 o'clock. Rumor spreads that Grigsby is a greedy hypocrite. I'm just going to put it that way. How do I spell hypocrite? I'm not forgetting how to spell hypocrite. It's just that. Nope, that's not how you spell hypocrite. Give me a second. There is an E at the end. It's just that. It still looks weird to me. Oh well. And lastly, I assume false at this time, but I'm putting in brackets anyways. Evidence will be found of Grigsby's selfishness. Bam. So that's cool. That's what could start happening soon. And it just leads to everyone leaving him. Now, stakes for this new thing, I don't think it matters. Mimi is her own thing right now. Who is the last Grigsby? Who will be? Who is Grigsby's most loyal friend? Mimi's his biggest fan, but of his security force, who's his most loyal friend? And I think they are his friends. What evidence will be? What will the evidence be? What will Grigsby do in response to these rumors? And then, this is another question I have. What is Grigsby without an audience? Because if he loses it, like, this is not just his security team, though it includes that. This is his entire credibility as, like, a reporter is gone. And his whole shtick is, like, the last honest reporter. So if he's not honest, no one will listen to him. And if that happens, who is he in terms of identity crisis? Fifi and Sibel get pissed at Grigsby. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. I don't think Fifi would do anything, and also she's so injured. What will Sibel do? What does Sibel do when pissed? She's a shepherd. She knows how to fight well. It might get violent. It might not. I don't know. Rumors spread that Grigsby's a greedy hypocrite. What are the rumor details? Oh, there we go. Now, are these connected to any other threats? Yes, this is now connected to the, what is the wolf and lone sheep? What's it called? What do I call it? Here we go. The wolf in sheep's clothing. That's the wrong threat. This is the right threat. Because, of course, the person who starts it all, who doesn't deliver the stuff, who doesn't deliver the barter, is Radar. So, wolf in sheep's clothing. I like this way more than his. See, we had... Grigsby is getting attacked on two fronts right now. And I think this is... I was considering whether or not this one, which is Grigsby's, like, violent, like a more direct approach to attacking him. I wondered while making this threat if this one was still applicable. And I think it is. He's getting attacked on two different fronts right now. One, his credibility is getting attacked, and two, he is actually physically being threatened, or will be. Right now, they're just, sort of each other. They're going to be very played into each other. Yeah. Next, Whisk's regulars. We had a countdown clock for them before, when Kettle was still missing. Oh, that's wrong. That was Whisk's security that we had that countdown clock for. Whisk's regulars. I don't see a countdown clock for them yet, until perhaps when food full-on gets locked down and rationed. So perhaps next session we might have a starting thing, because they are Sybarites. They want to consume someone's resources. And for now, Whisk has a lot, but, well, that might get restricted. Gam's buyout. Did I not? Apparently not. Okay. Well, we're going to put it here. I'll delete these. As I marked during this, I think literally when it happened, Rex did pay a visit to Whisk during the session. Didn't end well for Rex. So we are going to have Gam pay a visit to Fleece next. Now, Gam just left, so this might take some time. A session or two. Let me just check this. How far can this be pushed? Yeah, I think at some point. I have an idea for the... Sorry, back to Whisk's regulars. I have an idea for Mystic's question. What happens when Toyota is caught? They haven't been caught yet. How badly does Camel have to screw up for things that have happened? This is more background stuff. So far, it doesn't really matter yet. Keeping it in mind for it. However, it was revealed. Whisk's darkest secret was revealed last session. So, we know that Mash is believed to have been Bean's father. But we know that Whisk caused Bean's real father to disappear a long time ago. Which regular knows Whisk's deepest secret? One of them knows. I'll have to quick Skype. Give me a sec. There we go. Now, I have other questions as well. For example, where is Whisk's, where's Bean's real dad now? By disappeared, you mean killed him, or is he actually just somewhere else? I don't know. And does Whisk often make people disappear? I'll add that there. Gam's buyout. We're back to this now. Gam, we saw Rex. Hoss isn't in here anymore. Fleece is the Hoss in terms of the person that Gam's gonna go to. Police force was under the stove. What's it called? Skyrocket. I like it. I think it'll work well. So sometime soon, Fleece is gonna pay. Gam is gonna pay a visit to Fleece. Now this threat, well, we saw it. Bean is a dick, indeed. Him and his pack are brutes, a hunting pack, him and his gang. They victimize anyone vulnerable. They see Kim as vulnerable, and they are currently literally mid-chase scene with Kim. Yeah. Hold on. Radar is not worth to Fleece. Let me put that in quotations. Bonk is dead. How long will Radar go along with it? We saw that. Radar is no longer going along with it. Who joins Bean? Bean was going to recruit some extra muscle. Now, right now, he just has his regular. He has his gang with him. They are. Let me check the NPC list. I don't think. Would any of these people be here with them? I don't think so. Pretty sure the only people I'm thinking. I don't know how to have them written down. No, I don't. The two men that were drinking in the fish in like the fishing shack, Flag and Flack, might be with them. That's the only people I think of that might be with Bean. No one involved with Whisk would be anywhere close to Bean. And all of the NPCs, all the other NPCs we've seen are either shepherds, really busy, or actually we've seen some shepherds with Bean's game. Anyways, Bean starts assaulting random customers. See that people saw coming to the wood stove. We saw that. It was much lower in terms of population, and then player characters poked and prodded this thing. So he recruited some extra muscle. He showed up at the wood stove. A fight has broken out. He showed up at the wood stove. A fight, not so much a direct fight, is breaking out though. So I think this is going to be at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. Stakes. The real stakes here are what's going to happen to Kim. What's going to happen to Bean, what will the consequences be? Like the lasting consequences be? Next, who is going to will Grigsby get to Kim? How do I put this? So Grigsby wants to sick the gang on Bean, basically. So will Grigsby, like, how do I put this? There's a crowd of regular people. That will have some NPCs in it for sure to defend the wood stove. Probably all of the regulars are in there. If not, maybe not all, but most, perhaps all. Will Grigsby help? How do I put this? Grigsby would arrive on the scene, see that the chase scene just sort of departed. Kim went running off, and see that the gang went running off after them. I think it was ambiguous. And what will Grigsby do is not a greatly good question. But let's start with that and work it from there. So, let's see. What's going to happen to Kim I don't like. I do like what will happen to Kim's clinic. Because she left that behind. Now what's going to happen to Bean? I'd say it this way. Will he survive? Probably not. What will the lasting consequences be? Also, will Kim get away? What will the lasting consequences be is a important question. What will Grigsby do? Let's change that to... it's more like, how will he use the mob of people that are there? How do we word that in an interesting way? The mob of people are there to defend the wood stove, and Bean is leaving the wood stove and going after Kim. Will Grigsby sick the gang on Bean? Okay. Whisk just seems to be chilling. Yeah, honestly. So that's fine. I think that's it. Grigsby's informants. An informant was attacked. That was sort of an H. So that's the main pool. People in places that we have. That's not Harrow. That's what it is. Harrow, he has been taken by Dremmer. And now, he has reached... Now, during last session, Grigsby reached out for info on weapon shipments about to the rig that are going on. One of his informants, we will get back to him on that. And of course, with one of them gone, it could be Dad. That's not more an informant turns traitor, though. I could switch this around, and I think I will. Yeah, I don't think it's a great clock right now. Someone listening in on Cryptid Podcast is too small of a tick for a clock. The informant turns traitor, so I think Harrow is going to report back false info. I think that so the studio was destroyed is the ultimate thing. The studio was attacked is the second thing. I don't think so. I think that that's 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock is Grigsby is killed. That is literally what their ultimate goal is. Studio destroyed is nice. It's a benefit. The informant's going to turn traitor. Harrow will turn traitor. And reports back false info. Now, while Grigsby's doing whatever he wants to with that false info. I know what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to attack the studio by force. I think they're going to attack the studio by a bombing. It's going to be either a scent bomb, a bomb thrown into the window, something like that. That's going to be their thing. So, a bomb is made? How could you tell that? The informant turns traitor and reports back false info. This is about the informants. This isn't ultimately about the studio. The informant sets up a meeting. Yeah. And then there might be a bomb involved. There will probably be some sort of bomb involved. But the informant is going to set up a meeting. In fact, I don't know what's going to say Harrow now, because that's who it is. Harrow is going to set up a meeting with Grigsby and guests. Drummer's guests. So, here we go. Okay, not what will convince. Let's switch this, because Harrow has turned traitor. Yeah, anyways, Harrow is going to turn traitor at the beginning of next session. What convinced Harrow to work with Dremmer? Not will convince, but has convinced. How will the studio be attacked? Bomb is something I have in my head, but it's not nailed down. And lastly, I guess it's sort of, no, I already have that. The studio is destroyed. Let's go with missing. What does Drummer want with Grigsby? Because remember, he is pissed off at him. But I think they'll maybe face different, preferred alternatives to death. Okay, next, the fish fields. So, this does not have a countdown clock. I'm still not thinking about a countdown clock for this. Where's the den of these creatures? Can the sheep be kept safe? How will the raiders deal with the wolves? They are dealing with the wolves over time. So I think eventually this will change, but not on its own. It will change as the raiders' threat changes, which is done. Yes, it's far down. Anyways, when the raiders' threat changes, if they don't get interrupted and if nothing interferes with them, then they're going to get themselves some bear wolves on their side, tamed and muzzled and harnessed. They can probably ride those things. They're that big. So that'll be fun. If things go their way. We'll see. Red Fox 1. I actually really like that Red Fox 1 exists. Not as a threat so much as a reminder to me that it exists, because we've never actually seen it being driven. I think it's important because Litz, which we'll get to that threat soon. Actually, right now. I thought there was something there. Never mind, we'll get to that right now. Kim's secret admirer craves restitution and recompense in one way or another. Someone suspects that Kim is not who she says she is, or they say who they are. So that was, okay. Why does it do that? When I click on another text, it switches the original text that I was selecting beforehand. That's so weird, though, to me. Anyways, someone suspects that Kim is not who she says she is, and they will want to learn the truth. Kim and Dogmeat are involved. Litz is involved. And now that she knows, I'll just put it on here. Whisk is also involved. Now that, well, no, she doesn't actually know. She knows that of the false story. Now stakes, how will she find out the truth? How far will Kim go to protect her secret? I haven't seen those yet. What will Litz do if she learns the truth? I don't know. I like the idea of actually, how will the truth change Litz? Does Litz know that Whisk secretly hates Kim? I don't think that matters anymore. Wonka's dead. Will a pissed off being help Litz get even? Kind of is, not just, yeah. But not just because of that. That's just sort of an excuse for me. It's like, oh, you also did this horrible thing. Okay, well, that's just another reason for me to attack you. Litz has gone through Kim's angel kit. Litz has gone through Kim's house. Litz has not yet learned the truth. Now, but I know how that's going to take over next session. This coming session, Litz is going to be in the crowd of people that were there to defend the Woodstone. Because she doesn't like Bean either. Not this violent Bean. Her relationship with Bean is very complicated. And she's going to ask Grigsby to acquire... I don't know if we've mentioned this on stream, if it was just in chat afterwards. But what I thought was a physical handbook is like a data pad, almost. It's basically like an iPad. That's what Kim uses for following medical instructions. And so I believe that Litz is going to ask Grigsby to get that iPad for her, because that has the truth on it. And I think that's the next thing. How does the iPad, how does Kim's pad reveal the truth? Okay. Next. Fleece's recruitment. So, Fleece wants Kim to work for her because of augury, not because of medical stuff. Medical stuff, people, they're not super common, but other people can do it. But augury is a new thing. And I have no idea for this threat clock right now, but it might be. See, I'm thinking if Fleece doesn't get what she wants, she will turn to alternative means, which usually means doing it herself. Fleece experiments with what's it called? The maelstrom. It's been way too long since I watched this, and I'm forgetting the actual name for the maelstrom. Okay. These experiments with the maelstrom. The experiments get dangerous. accident occurs. Fleece will then awaken from the coma. Here. Why am I getting a phone call? Oh. Okay. Gonna be right back. I'm gonna pause the stream.